Giddy up.
The old god demanded 6 sucklings. You didn't bring but a single scurvy runt. No wonder he cursed us. We're doomed!
You's the one brought soured wine.
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the old god, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. That's if you got fitting offerings. He scorned ours, and then cursed the old village.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood. And suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Mm-hmm. Plain to see that. So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us, you can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me hounds. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and locusts or some such will devour the harvest.
I could intercede on your behalf with this All-God of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you have to stand before the altar and cry out, "All God, help a poor wretch in need." Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
Oh, All-God, help a poor wretch in need. Pretty please.
How dare you disturb my divine rest, mortal?
I dare disturb it because I want your divine self to lift the, curse you cast. Those peasants really don't have.
They must bring worthy offerings or they shall face drought, driving hail, earthquakes, avalanches. I have spoken.
Avalanches? Here? Huh. How would that work? No answer from the All-God. Fine. We can finish our conversation when I find him. Voice came from underground. A crack. Too small to pass through, but big enough for sound to come out. Wine. More like vinegar. Someone drank it anyway. Could follow the scent. There's something here. Need to use the eye.
What? Who dares disturb my divine being?
Geralt of Rivia. Pleasure. Huh. Expected the All-God to be corporeal in form, but never thought he'd be corpulent. Fattened up nicely at those peasants' expense.
Expense? Expense? Not a word about the help I give in return. Blessings, absolutions, enlightened advice. Believe me, these folks need all of it. I'd watch over them still if they fulfilled their end. But lately they offer these pathetic scraps.
That they steal from the mouths of their children, and to make matters worse, you cast a curse on them.
and I'll not lift it till they bring me worthy offerings. I'm to settle for curds and whey? Not a chance. And you can tell them that.
Been in this hole long?
For a century or so. One winter I found shelter here. Built a fire so large the flames leapt through the crack, lit the bushes above. I coughed from the smoke, and suddenly heard a peasant. A voice out of nowhere, he called. A miracle. Thus, I became a god.
Parasite, more like.
Maybe so. But what of Freya and Melitele then, Demanding prayers and offerings, giving naught in return? I talk at least.
Listen here, lard-ass. You're gonna be satisfied with what you get, or I'll feed you to the ravens.
Plowing reformers. No, fine, fine. I'll sup more modestly. But just till the end of the war, not one day longer.
Anything new?
Talk to your old god, face to face.
And will he show us mercy?
He will. Promise to be pleased with whatever you bring.
I told you. I told you the All-God's merciful, understanding. Thanks, Witcher.
Oh, one last thing. Did you know there's a crypt beneath this hill? I want to take a look sometime. Architecture's fascinating. Run, Roach. Not so fast. Roach. Move it!
Esse yonder ainda me quer.
Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you.
Tell me more about this mage from the Isle. Were you two close?
Never expected you'd take such an interest in my private life.
More interested to know if you bonded. as fellow magic practitioners.
Well, we had little in common in that arena. Oh, Alexander was one of those anxious experimenters, forever short on sleep. The kind that thinks perfect happiness is an isolated tower and a full set of vials and alembics.
Fyke Isle's free of its curse.
And you withheld this news until now? Why? I gave you a Xenovox. But the curse, what was its source?
The dark spell clung to the spirit of Annabelle, the Lord's daughter. To free her and the Isle, Graham, her beloved, had to help me.
So it ended well.
I lifted the curse, so the island's clear. Annabelle's soul is free. Thing is, turned out she's a pesta. Graham's dead.
And you failed to notice? You're losing your touch. Be that as it may, Fyke Isle is free of its curse. That's important. I'm almost inclined to say good work.
One thing's bothering me.
What?
Annabelle said Alexander was studying diseases. She mentioned Catriona. You knew this?
All the mages knew about it. Alexander was a highly regarded epidemiologist. I would have given anything for an opportunity to study his notes, but he guarded them jealously.
The lamp. What do you want to do with it?
As I said, you may keep it. I don't believe I shall need it anymore, given the Isle's been cleansed. I actually regret not going there with you. Perhaps we can make up for that lost time now.
All right. Time I was on my way.
Perhaps you'd stay just a bit longer? There's one small favor you might yet do for me.
What is it?
I put in an order for a few substances from Novigrad. The trader was due to be here yesterday, but has yet to arrive. Could you see what happened? The package is rather important to me.
Why not? If he was coming here from Novigrad, he must have passed through Blackbow. I'll check the area.
Thank you. I shall be ever so grateful.
An amulet.
What up?
Corpse teeth.
So long.
You ain't safe unless you got a...
Let me have a look. So long.
Not looking good, I tell you.
Thistle. Thistle.
How do I get my lush to use his hand?
Got an ill
Ow.
look in yours.
So, she gives me an amulet, says it'll quench his thirst.
And? Did it?
Next, a jug of punch.
God's bless you.
Oh!
Say no more. When a wench takes ill, they send her to the woods for kindling, where beasts devour her.
Got coin to spend?
I might. Wouldn't mind a few rounds of cards.
Easy, not at all.
God's bless you.
Master Witcher, there's an elven burial ground in the caverns nearabouts mid-copse, and a heap of monsters Master the trade keeps the hunger at bay.
I've eaten tree pie. Me, got splinters coming out my arse from it.
The Blackens be evil and all.
Oh, hey now. Misfortune never sleeps in the forest.